Hey, Xian Steve here from Krav Maga Martial Arts and for Meditations on Mastery. Today, I want to talk to you about the voices that you're listening to. I remember back when I was a competitive fighter, both on the point karate circuit and later kickboxing, but I remember when I was fighting that one of the most important things to my success and failure in my martial arts training was the quality of the coach that I had at the time. Not just the quality of the coach, but my ability to hear the coach and listen to what he was saying. You know, I remember fights specifically where the coach would give me one little piece of advice that could completely turn the tide of a fight that I was in. And anybody who's been involved in any kind of highly competitive thing can probably say the same for their coach. But I bring it up because I want to use that ring scenario as an analogy for the fights that we're fighting in our lives. I think that if you can imagine that I was in that ring and I didn't have one specific voice I was listening to, but instead the crowd was chanting and cheering and yelling what they thought I should do. And by the way, very often that would be the case. In that time, the important thing is to have the ability to know which is the voice you're supposed to be listening to, your coach, and then to be able to hear him above and distinct from all the other voices that are making noise. The purpose of today's message is to kind of try to communicate that the same thing is true in any fight that we are leading in our lives. And certainly I would say that we're all fighting some kind of fight. We know that there are people that are fighting fights of their life in health challenges. Others are financial challenges or relational challenges or whatever it is. They're fights. We do know that there are many, many voices giving advice, shouting advice. Now, I want to take the analogy just one step further because you know, many, many times those people that were yelling advice to me, they really, really meant well. Maybe they were my parents or my friends, and they were people that really would like to see me win. But their advice wasn't always good. And that's because they weren't all black belts. They certainly weren't all fighters, and they weren't coaches. So therefore, they were shouting advice on something in which they really had no experience. They hadn't been there. They hadn't done that. And they didn't really have the fruit on the tree to advise me when it came to that specific area. I think that we have to beware and be aware and do the same thing in our life battles. Have to make sure that we are listening to the people with fruit on the tree that, yes, they have to want what's best for us, but just as importantly, they have to know what's best on us because they've gone there before. So in every area of our life, we have to do this. Now, before I sign off for today, I want to just give one more thought, one more meditation. And that is be special aware of the voices in your head. We all have a voice that's moving us closer to our goals and one that's trying to hold us back. I know personally that I've had one in my head sometimes that says, why did that happen and why didn't I do that differently and just thinks about things in the past. And I'm not saying that it's not important to analyze our past fights. You have to be able to get out of the ring when you lose and look at it and say, okay, what should I have done better? What will I do differently next time? But I am saying this. We can't change the outcomes of any fight that we've already fought. But we can certainly plan, execute, and change the destiny of the fights that we still have to win. Looking forward to doing that. Looking forward to helping you do that along the way. Hope this message finds you well. Hope to see you one day soon.